Welcome to this week's episode of Humans in 5.
Along with many of our peers and many others out there, we found that lately we're working more than we might have in the before times. But even then, way back then, we were still having those days where you'd find yourself putting in that overtime to get that particular job done.
On those long days, or on those shorter days, or frankly even on non-work days, we're both fans of a ceremonial morning pick-me-up. I happen to be a committed coffee drinker.
Well, I live for my morning tea. We may not agree on our drink of choice, but we both like to start our day with an energizing beverage to get things rolling. Why are drinks like tea and coffee so good at getting our juices flowing when we like to start our day?
We generally know the culprit for coffee: caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant that targets the central nervous system and reduces fatigue and drowsiness in those that consume it. It's technically a psychoactive drug, but unlike many other psychoactive substances, such as cocaine, ephedrine, or mescaline, to name a few, it is widely available and not really regulated in most of the world.
Caffeine is quite literally our social drug of choice in many instances. While a lot of other drugs are viewed negatively, caffeine has largely escaped this tarnish and is consumed by huge amounts of people worldwide. For example, the Coffee Association of Canada notes that about 71% of people have had some coffee in any given day, while 48% of people have consumed tea.
Tea and coffee do share many similarities, but also some interesting differences. For example, tea does contain caffeine, but also the molecule theanine. Theanine also has some stimulatory effects, but may additionally reduce stress and anxiety levels in some situations.
Both of these beverages may provide a perk and a sense of comfort in simply marking certain times in the day. We often like the ritual of making the morning bevy. But many people often worry that this morning ritual might have toilet-related consequences. People are often concerned that the caffeine in tea and coffee acts as a diuretic. A diuretic can increase that need to urinate, but by encouraging some fluids to leave the body may cause some dehydration along the way.
While many people believe tea and coffee might cause them to become dehydrated, it isn't really the case. While caffeine can work as a mild diuretic, it's too mild to really cause your body to dry out. The fluids, namely water, that you drink as a part of that mug or tea of coffee is enough to offset the fluid loss that might occur as a result of the small amount of caffeine present.
There's been a litany of studies claiming that tea or coffee are either the greatest or the worst thing in the world for you. We're not going to get into all that, as a lot of these studies oversell the strengths or weaknesses of coffee or tea. Ultimately, so long as you're consuming your caffeinated beverage in moderation, we hope that it brings you some comfort, joy, and a bit of a pick-me-up too.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Humans in 5.
And don't forget to subscribe!